this time Megatron and Optimus Prime end up having a face-off on top of the dam. So welcome along to episode 2 in this little Generation 1 series of reviews on Transformers. And once again, before we start, I do apologise for the external noises outside the studio. I will try my best to sort that out ASAP, but until then, please bear with me. I know it can be annoying. Like, it's bad enough having to listen to me, but hearing cars going past, it's not good for anybody. At the end of episode 1, the Autobots had attempted to stop Megatron and the Decepticons from stealing energy from an offshore oil rig, but Megatron succeeded in getting the energy, called a retreat, but before the Decepticons left, he took out the support legs of the oil rig, leaving the Autobots and the humans trapped. And this is where we start off. Optimus Prime is trying to save 2 humans who are Spike and Sparkplug Witwicky, who will become the 2 humans that are the Autobots' connection to Earth through the rest of season 1 and 2, and in season 3 and 4 we go from Spike being the teenager to being the father, and his son Daniel will be in season 3, but we're jumping ahead of ourselves. So Optimus Prime saves the 2 of them, the Autobots save the rest of the workers. Then Optimus Prime proceeds to tell the story of who they are and where they came from. They're Autobots, they come from Cybertron, they're here to stop the Decepticons. And yes, we go from there, we cut from that over to Autobot headquarters, and Spike is hanging out outside. He's writing in his journal, keeping a record of everything that's happening. Serious noise outside this place, it's doing my head in. In the shadows, Soundwave is lurking. He's come to spy once again on the Autobots, and he transforms into his cassette player form, and he shrinks right the way down so he's like handheld for Spike. Spike discovers him, takes him into the Ark, sets him up on top of the computer system, and that's Soundwave. And the start of this episode is like Spike getting to know the Autobots more, and like he's asking different questions, and how do they transform, why do they transform, and you know, it was just simple explanations, as in, do you want to know how we transform? This is how we do it. And they transform from robot to a vehicle form, and that was good enough for us in 1984. Hound demonstrates his abilities to make a hologram. Like, he brings up a hologram of a person sitting behind the steering wheel of his vehicle form. Mirage, another Autobot, demonstrates his ability to disappear and reappear. So yes, that sets up a few things for later on in this. Is it this episode or the next episode? I don't know, but those 2 abilities come into play later on. Ravage, who is one of Soundwave's cassettes, is ordered into Teletran's records to discover places where the Decepticons can steal energy on Earth, essentially. So Soundwave manages to do that, but before he can get away, he is discovered by Spike. Spike sets the alarm off. Soundwave escapes, but Ravage is captured. But Soundwave gets the information that Sherman Dam is a huge energy supplier, and that's what Megatron's next target is going to be. And his idea is to start a tidal wave to drive more and more energy through the dam to get as much as they can out of it. And it's going to be a dangerous thing that's going to destroy the dam essentially, but Megatron doesn't care. He just wants the energy. So yes, we end up in this episode pretty much just the bulk of it is getting to know the Autobots a bit better, and their abilities and whatnot, and the next target really for Megatron, which is the dam. So we cut to that. Megatron's there yet again. Soundwave has another little robot to set that lives inside his chest, who ejects him as a little robot this time called Rumble, and his arms transform into these massive jackhammer sort of hammers, and he's sent in to the river to start a tidal wave. The Decepticons go in, start making their energon cubes. The energy levels going through the dam at this stage is driving the generators to top capacity, to the point where they're almost ready to explode. So the Autobots again turn up to try and save the humans and stop the Decepticons, and this time Megatron and Optimus Prime end up having a face-off on top of the dam. Hound at this stage has gone into the river. He's gone down in there to try and stop the source of the tidal wave, namely Rumble. Spike is on the shore. Rumble and Hound have a fight at the bottom of the river. Hound loses, gets himself trapped underneath rocks down there. Rumble leaves, and on his way out he attacks Spike. Megatron, Optimus Prime are having their fight on top of the dam, and Spike starts screaming because Rumble has him by the throat, and this distracts Optimus Prime, which his major weakness is trying to protect other people while he's fighting, and he gets distracted long enough for Megatron to knock him off the top of the dam and into the river as well. So Jazz saves Prime. What's his name? Spike gets away from Rumble, and that's it. We cut to the Decepticons, and you get to see different places where they're attacking. That kind of, you see the change in what's happening leading up to the final part of this opening story. The Decepticons are essentially they're winning at everything they do. Everywhere they attack, they're getting the energy. The Autobots are on the back foot the whole way through it. There's a part where one of the Autobots, Huffer, I do believe it is, suggests that we should just leave. We should just go back to Cybertron and let Megatron, the Decepticons, do what they want. And Prime's like, we can't do that. It's not an option. If Megatron wins on Earth, he will be unstoppable anywhere else. They have to stay and they have to fight. But Huffer's like, we're not fighters like they are. It's the Decepticons are pretty much bred to fight, and the Autobots are more or less just peaceful beings that are in the unfortunate position of having to be the ones to try and stop the Decepticons. So we cut back to the Decepticons. Starscream has hooked up a whole load of energon cubes to a cannon. He's shooting at a mountain, and he's testing the energon cubes basically, but he's wasted a big chunk of the energy that Megatron wants. So there's a fight, an argument between Megatron and Starscream over this here, which again leads to Starscream questioning Megatron's leadership abilities, and Megatron beats him to the ground. And yes, so Spike and Sparkplug and another Autobot Trailbreaker, at this point they're actually spying on the Decepticons this time. They hear Megatron's plans of where he's going to attack next, which is the Ruby Crystal Mines. So they try to leave to go and tell the Autobots what's happening, and they come under fire from Skywarp and Thundercracker. So they radio home base for help. 2 Autobots, Sunstreaker and Sideswipe, turn up to save them, fight off the 2 Autobots, and that's it. We cut then to the Ruby Mines, where the Decepticons are, basically mining fallen energon cubes again. The Autobots turn up to stop them, but they're forever on the back foot. So their idea this time is to plant a bomb in the mine, plant a bomb in the mine, cave them in, and stop them that way. So that Spike and Sparkplug and Bumblebee enter the mine, because Bumblebee's small, he can get into spaces where the other Autobots can't. As they're in, plant the bomb, they're about to make their escape. They run onto Thundercracker and Skywarp. They start getting roughed up by the Empire. Optimus Prime decides here this is taking too long, something's wrong, so he transforms, drives up the mountain to see if he can find them. He's got this little robot, it's like a little car that lives in his trailer called Roller, and he sends him off. He's like a little scout robot who is again smaller than Bumblebee. He can get in, see where they're at, if they're safe and whatnot. As he sends him in, the bomb that Bumblebee planted to cave in the Decepticons explodes, and a massive, huge explosion comes out around Optimus Prime. He gets blown right off the side of the mountain, and the episode finishes with him rolling down in truck form. And yes, it's a little bit of a cliffhanger end, and I just kind of spat all over the camera. Sorry about that. So that's it for this episode. I don't think I missed anything out there. There might be something in there. The only other thing I can think of, the Decepticons only needed the one more energy source to complete the energy they need to power their space cruiser to get back to Cybertron, but because of Starscream testing the energon cubes and wasting that amount of energy, they need 2 more strikes. So that leads into the next episode as well. It buys the Autobots a little bit of extra time to try and stop them. So that's it for this review of More Than Meets the Eye Part 2. Guys, thank you so much for checking out the video. Please hit that subscription button, and don't forget to press that bell icon to be notified of future uploads. Please get into the description box below this video and check out my social media links down there, and check out all that good stuff, and I will see you in the next video.